Hello, everyone. I'm Roger Wilkinson. Welcome to Recruiting 101 with the Chief. First of all, I'm going to tell you how I got that nickname, the Chief. I was coaching at Augusta University with then head coach Jason Eller. He was talking to the team one day, and I guess since I was the old guy in the room, he started calling me the Chief. And it just carried over into the season. All the kids started calling me the Chief, so I was the Chief for the rest of the season. It sort of stuck with me like glue. And so now I'm going to give you some recruiting information from the Chief, the old guy. Now, first of all, I want you to understand something. Recruiting is not an easy game. It's not an exact science, and us college recruiters miss all the time. But here are the things you have to do to prepare yourself before you even want to be recruited. See, what I see most of the time is these young guys in high school making mistakes is they go out, they rush out, and they go play before they're ready to really be recruited. So I'm going to give you 5 great tips that you can get better at so you can be a more valuable recruit when you go out to play. Now, I'm a big advocate of going out and playing. I have a bunch of travel teams like a lot of other companies in the Southeast. But I also am a super big advocate of preparing your body and your mind and your game to be ready to be recruited. So here's some things you have to do to prepare for recruiting. First of all, you've got to get in that gym and you've got to get strong. You know, and I'm always hearing from guys that weigh 150 pounds, I can't gain any weight. Well, I want you to start tracking your meals. You're not eating enough. You're not taking in enough calories. If you eat 1 sandwich a day and you don't gain any weight, eat 2. If you don't gain any weight with 2, eat 3. You have got to pack on the calories, and you got to hit that gym hard, and you got to take the supplements and all these things to get your body strong, because if you're not strong, you can't play. Even if you got great skills and you're not strong enough, you're going to get swallowed up. And I learned this quickly coaching at Augusta University. We had one of our players who was a great player, but his body wasn't that strong. And in that 55-game season, it started wearing on him about game 27 and 28. And physically, he was shot the last 15 games of the season. So you've got to take care of that, number one. Get that body strong. And if you can't do it and figure it out, jump in the pocket of the big offensive tackle on the football team and start doing what he's doing, because he's gaining weight and he's getting bigger and stronger, and you got to figure it out if you're going to advance in college baseball. Secondly, I don't care if you run a 6.5 or a 7.5. We've got all types of different speeds in college and professional baseball. But what you've got to do is you've got to work on your agility. Even if you don't run that great, you've got to have great feet. There's no bad feet guys in pro baseball, and not very many super bad feet guys in college baseball. You've got to work on footwork and agility and balance so that you can be the best player you can possibly be. Third, hone your skills. I always tell my players, be a master craftsman. You've got to be a master of your craft. If you play shortstop, you need to know everything there is to know about shortstop. Can you make the same plays as Derek Jeter? Probably not. But can you have as much knowledge as he does? You can. It doesn't take any extra effort to learn everything about your position and the other guy's position on your team. Be a master craftsman. Fourth, you've got to really study the mental game. Baseball is hard. We all know that. It's a difficult game. So now you've got to become mentally prepared, know how the other team is pitching your teammates, know how they've attacked you in the past, know how they're going to defend you, know how they're going to pitch you when you're hitting, know how your team is going to defend their best players. You've got to know the mental game. You got to know if this guy's been throwing sliders 2-2 all night, then by golly, when it's 2-2, he's probably going to throw me 1-2. So you've got to understand the mental side of this thing, and you got to be mentally prepared every night to have a clean slate. If you went 0 for 4 last night, it's over with. You got to come back today. It's a new day. Don't try to chase last night's 0 for 4. It's the easiest way to get yourself in a slump. So mental game, man, get mentally tough. Develop mental toughness. I always tell my teams mental toughness wins. We had a great team in 2013, and none of those guys were big-time recruits, but, man, they were mentally tough. Guys like Jackson Ware at Mercer University, mentally tough guys. Guys like Connor Hoover, who's now with the Seattle Mariners. He was 5'10", 160 pounds in high school. He goes to North Georgia University, and he gets in that weight room, and now he's playing pro baseball. Guys like Garrett Wilkinson, mentally tough guys. Guys like Matt Anderson, mentally tough guys behind the plate. You got to be mentally tough in order to win. And so you got to develop that. It's not something we're born with. It's something you have to develop. And then finally, I talk to guys all the time that think they ought to go to a school X and school Y and school Z. Well, don't tell me you're good enough to go to school X, Y, or Z because you've never seen them play. You've got to go to the ballpark, and you've got to study guys, and you've got to see what Georgia's looking for, what Georgia Southern's looking for, what Georgia Gwinnett's looking for, what Augusta University's looking for, what Middle Georgia College is looking for, what are the type players they have. South Georgia Junior College, Chipola Junior College, Northwest Florida State. Go see these teams play because you're going to be surprised. They're really, really good. And it's not easy to play at a Division II school. Just because you think I want to go to XYZ Power 5 doesn't mean you can play there. The guys at these other levels are really good players. And so you've got to understand where your game fits. And if you don't like where it fits, then you've got to do something about it. It's all on you. It's not on mama. It's not on daddy. It's on you to get it done. You got to take it upon yourself. If you want to play at another level, you better get stronger. You better get better agility. You better get a mental game. You better know the game. You better hone your skills. And finally, you got to go watch some baseball. Hey, I hope you guys have enjoyed these tidbits. We'll be bringing them to you every week.